That's her right here.
Hello.
WSWT.
Yes, make sure y'all go to the website as well. Go to the website. We're about to go live. Hello everybody. Hey everybody, hey. Got the guitar. Hello. Let me just set this up real quick.
We're going to be talking a little bit about this new single.
Yes. God is good.
Yes, He is.
Download Stand TV. That's STAND, Stand TV. And we got a lot of great interviews that's on the station as well. Also, I am doing my first TV reality show that will be premiered on this TV station. So don't forget to go and download it. Where it's going down, and also don't forget the radio station, WSWT Internet Radio. And if you know anybody that's have some clean music or that's looking to do podcasts, whatever it may be, please tell them to email me at sadiewalker1127@gmail.com, or you can email me at wswtradio@gmail.com. So let's get into it. I got a special guest in the building. Somebody reached out to me and said, you know what? I got a guy that I need you to interview. He's a phenomenal person. I think you should interview him like ASAP. I said, okay, well, send him to me, hook it up. So he sent me his information. I got in contact with him, and he's on the show today. So it's very, it's an honor to meet you. I've been doing like a lot of research on you. So when people come on the show, I make sure I interview them the right way, and I do my research so I can know what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna throw the ball in your court. Just let people know who you are and like what you got going on.
Well, my name is Arthur Sutton. I have a group called Arthur Sutton and the Gift of Praise. We've been around for a nice little while, since 1990 actually, and we've been going around traveling across the state, across the country, and some international appearances as well. And been recording music. I write songs, and I play bass, and I play guitar, and we've been doing it and on and off. Now I wouldn't say on and off. I've recorded about 5 CDs, and some of the records that we recorded have done very well. One of them, I Got an Angel, Watching Over Me, was one of the big songs for us and for me, and I did really well over in Sweden. And then I did He Extended My Life. That song right now, it went number 1 on the internet radio charts. The radio experts went number 1 on there on Synergy. It was number 1 on Biggs Radio. It was number 2. And then fast forward up to now, we just did a single called God's Always Keeps His Promise. It is in my opinion, it's a very good song. I've been getting rave reviews on it, and God is blessing that song already. People are requesting it, people want to hear it, and they want to have it so they can play it, and all the glory and honor goes to God for what He's done for me and what He's done. It's music that comes through me to present to the public.
Wow, that's excellent. Because I love music as well. Like I used to really sing like back in the day. I used to be on the praise team, and I know like a lot of times when people record music, it comes from the heart, and it also be the testimony of your life. So when you write, is this something that comes from your heart? Is it something that you went through in life? I mean, what made you come up with these different songs?
Absolutely, I believe what you just said is so very important. I tell other songwriters, you write from the heart, and the words I always say, let it do what it do. I mean, because the songs that I've written, any of my songs on any of my albums, you can see that it's something that I either went through, I'm going through, or I'm singing about God. I'm thinking about how wonderful He is. I'm praising God in the message of the song. I wrote one song that did very well also. It's called That What Goes Around. That What Goes Around comes
back
around. That's right. And so that song was like that. I remember when I first wrote I Got an Angel, my mom and dad had just passed away. My dad passed first, and then my mom passed like maybe about 4 or 5 years later. And I was sitting up one evening, I was feeling pretty sad because I was thinking about them. I got their pictures up on the mantle over my fireplace. And so I was looking at the picture and I said, I just started praying, God, what am I going to do now? Mom gone, dad is gone. Bang, say, all of a sudden those lyrics came to me. I got an angel watching over me. I wrote that song in maybe 5-10 minutes.
Wow.
And at the time, I had not attached it to Psalms, in the book of Psalms, where they talk about angels, God will give you angels. But it was straight out the scripture. And that song has been wonderful ever since I recorded it. And a lot of people bless it. Everywhere I go, people want to hear me sing. I got an angel. I want you to sing, I got an angel.
Wow.
And I always want to sing something from the heart that will bless someone. Like this last song, God always keep His promise, and He always keep His word from the heart. So yes, and I would advise any songwriter, it's my advice, you write from the heart a sincere message.
Yeah.
You know, because I think it's important, the lyrics, especially in gospel, that your lyrics are saying something.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, you got to reach the heart, because there's so many people, especially now, the time that we're living in right now, people need to hear something that's going to encourage them, something that's going to touch their heart, something that's going to speak to them. Because when you hear a song, you can just be going through something. All of a sudden, you turn the radio on, and you be like, wow, I'm going through exactly what this person is singing about. So we need that in this day and time. Now, what made you want to get into singing, and like take us down your journey of you know, first becoming a seamstress? What made you want to do it?
Well, you know, actually, if I could really go back, I would go back to when I was 12 years old.
Okay, let's go back to 12.
Yeah, okay. You know, I grew up in the projects, Robert Taylor, before they tore him down. You know,
a lot of great people come from the Robert Taylor.
That's right. I went to DuSable High School. I was right across the street from Robert Taylor. But I started playing bass at an early age, around 12. There was a gospel group called the Willing Four. My brother was in that group, and I used to go to rehearsal with them. And I didn't know how to play guitar then, so I was so fascinated by the size of the strings on the bass at the time, because I was used to looking at the guitar. The strings were so fat and thick, I used to always just stare at it. And when he would put it down to go to the bathroom or whatever he'd leave on, I'd always pick it up and start just trying to fiddle around with it. And one of my brothers, he's passed away now, he saw that I was interested in playing music, so he sent me to music school. And back in the day, I don't know if you remember Lion and Healy. It was on Jackson and Wabash back in the day. So I went there to learn how to read music. So I went there then, so I started playing for the Willing Four. It was a gospel group. And Reverend McLean and my brother Henry Sutton, they all sang. I used to travel around the country with them playing gospel music. Then one day, I don't know if you remember Inez Andrews from the Caravans. Yeah, Inez Andrews, Lord Don't Move This Mountain.
Oh yeah,
that's who wrote it.
Okay, yeah.
She's from the Caravans.
Okay.
And she knew me. She said, Sutton, you need to start your own group. So she saw me playing for the Willing Four. She said, you need to start your own group. So I always admired her, and so I did. I started my own group, and that birthed the Gift of Praise. And I started a young brother named Ed Smith, and my keyboard players, David Horn, who's still with me now, started out with me way back in 1990 to give the praise. So I started singing and just writing songs and singing all the way up to now.
Wow. Wow, that's great, because a lot of great people start from when they're young.
Yeah.
You know, looking up to an older brother, you know, or cousins, you know, different things like that. So now you go on this journey, and you looking up to your big brothers, and you seeing all the great things that they're doing. So you got fascinated by the good side and all that good stuff. So now you got your gospel singer. Now you're a gospel singer. You're known around the world. People know you. You got your group. So take us to that place where now you got your group.
Well, I got the gift of praise. It's full of wonderful singers and musicians. Right now, let's start with my son. Well, of course, when I first started the group, you know, I used to take him when he was a little baby. You know,
that's how it started.
I would literally sit him in his crib, right on the stage with me, so I could look at him while I was up playing.
Right.
You know.
Good father, good father.
Yeah, and my wife, a lot of people may know she's a well-known radio.
I also looked your wife up too.
Did you?
Yes, I did. Okay, we ain't gonna get there yet, so okay.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna have her to come with me, but she said, "No, you go ahead."
She should have came.
Yeah. So she's in the group with me,
okay,
and she's been there for at least 20 years or better. And my cousin, it's basically a family group.
Yeah.
Gene Frierson, who sings soprano, is with me, and it's just basically a family-oriented group, and that's how I've been blessed to have homegrown musicians. David, who started with me playing keys, his son, as he grew up, then he started playing for us. Now my son playing bass. And my other son, I got two sons. One plays drums and one plays the bass. My one son, Arthur Sutton Jr., they call him AJ, he's traveling all over the world.
Wow.
Matter of fact, he's in Houston now with Smokey Norfolk.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he plays for J.J. Harrison, Donnie McClurkin.
Oh, wow.
I mean, he's traveling all over the place.
Right.
It's hard for me to get on his books. You know, wanted to travel with you.
Maybe that anointing, that Shekinah glory that be around your life. Yeah, you got to give it out to God.
You know, I try to do this for real. To
Yeah.
say, I don't take it for granted that I get up in the morning and I have the activities of my limbs to be able to open my hands and my mind still. Because a lot of people, you know, dementia kicks in, or something happens and they lose their skills, or something happens to their hands.
And then depression kicks in.
Depression, yes. So I wrote a song one day, God's got everything you need. You know, you don't have to go around stealing.
Nope.
You don't have to go around lying and cheating.
That's true.
God's got everything you need.
Everything you need.
Yeah, it's a song like songs like that is what I try to say by way of song to the audience.
Right, and to keep you going as well.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Keeps me going. So in that journey, and all the way up until now, singing, playing, going different places, making different events. We sing at festivals. Matter of fact, we just did the Chicago Festival, the Bellwood Festival, all these festivals around here. We did the Blues Festival and down in the Delta, Mississippi. We've been on blues shows. You know, we've sang at the House of Blues. We've done shows there. And so God has just blessed us to travel and still be traveling.
Wow. Because I know, like you said, growing up, you know, even as a young boy, you growing up. Now, how was it, because, you know, back then, because that's when, you know, when you had different artists came out that was doing love songs and what they would say the secular world. Like, how did that, like, what made you stay in gospel? Because normally people will leave the gospel and go into, like, the blues or R&B or whatever.
You know what? Growing up, my favorite group in the whole wide world was Earth, Wind & Fire.
Okay.
Second in line was Frankie Beverly and Mays.
Okay.
So I love Verdine's the way he played bass. So my style is kind of patterned after him.
Okay.
Everybody's got somebody that they
that they mimic.
Yeah, you know. So Birdie was the person that I kind of mimicked, and then Frankie Beverly and Mays. So how did I stay in gospel? Well, I must say, if I tell the truth, when I was young, I was coming out of college during my college days. I had an R&B band.
Okay.
So, you know, we played on college campuses and stuff like that.
Right.
And I guess because my roots were in gospel, and I just always wanted to please God. Yeah. I didn't want to get out too far away from God. As I grew up, I saw the value in staying with God. I was blessed to be able to see that, so not to pull me away.
That's powerful.
Yeah, and so I stayed with God.
Because a lot of people they'll do it. They'll get into gospel, they'll be singing the gospel music, and they'll just stir away and then go a total different 360. You know?
I've always said when I pray to God, I want to please Him.
Yeah.
And I've always asked Him, you give me the songs, I'll write them and put them out there for people to hear, to encourage somebody.
And you're like, I'm in this thing for real.
Yeah.
That's good. That's powerful.
Well, you know, I had sons that was coming up watching me.
Yeah.
Okay, so I wanted to set a good example for them. I didn't want them to see me being hypocritical, doing one thing and saying one thing and doing something else.
Yeah.
So I knew I had them watching me. Then a lot of times when I would be out, a lot of the young brothers would come up to me saying, hey man, I've been watching you, man, since I was a little shorty. Right. And I didn't know that they were, but a lot of wonderful, great bass players and musicians now that's playing for large, big artists. They'll call me the Godfather or something.
Oh wow, icon.
I mean,
yes, we got an icon in the building.
It's flattering, it's flattering to hear.
That's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's a blessing to still have your flowers presented to you while you're still here. So that's a good thing.
It humbles me.
Yeah.
You know, when I hear these young brothers, and these young musicians, wow, they are awesome. You know, one of them played for Lionel Richie, another one plays for the name escaped on the R&B side. Matter of fact, another one is playing for Frankie.
Okay.
Frankie Beverly, yeah. So these, and I can name some more. The names just slip me right now, but it's so flattering and humbling to hear how all these guys say to me, "Hey man, I've been watching you, man, since you for 20 years or something." Oh, really? Yeah. So it's a good thing, and I want to be a good example before them, even though my legal practice as an attorney.
That's what I was going to get to next. Yeah.
Really? Okay, well, I'll wait.
Okay, so I know that you're a lawyer, attorney. So now, how did that interfere? How did that come together? You got your career, your music and career going on. You know, how did that all come together? Because you're an attorney now. You in school, you graduate. You know, got a family. Like that's a lot. You know. So how did that happen? What made you want to become a lawyer?
Well, you know, I had a degree. I was. Well, I hope we got time to tell this story.
You got a lot. You know, my research. You got a lot of stuff going on. a lot. We're gonna get to that in a minute. But tell us, you know, your journey with being a lawyer. What made
being a lawyer. First of all, I told you I grew up in Robert Hill and I went to DuSable. The only way I got into college was my God-gifted talent to play basketball. That got me a full ride college scholarship in school. Okay, matter of fact, I went. Maurice Cheeks and I played backcourt together in high school at DuSable. Maurice, you may not know about the sports side, but Dr. J.
What did you think I know about the sports side? But I don't know Maurice. Who was Maurice?
Maurice Cheeks was the point guard that played with Dr. J.
Oh, okay, I know from Dr. J. Okay.
They won the championship in 1983. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So anyway, I went to school and I graduated from a Royal University. I had a BA degree. So now I'm working as a warrant officer because I had a degree in criminal justice. So now I'm working as a parole agent, you know, a lot of people mix up parole. A parole agent is the person that you report to after you've spent time in the penitentiary.
Right.
Now you're out and you report to a parole agent. Probation is before or you go to the penitentiary when the judge says, okay, I'm put you on probation. If you screw up, I'm sending you to the penitentiary. So I was a parole agent. So I'm a parole agent and I'm working at Cook County Jail. And a young lady came in there because she knew I had experience and she was representing one of her clients was a big time drug dealer on the west side. So she was a young lady too. So she came in, I was the hearing officer for Cook County Jail. In other words, I was the person who set the guys up who were on parole for them to go before the board for a hearing if they got arrested for something. I had a lot of power in my hand. I could release them and let them go free, or I could send them back to jail. I had a lot of power in my hand. So long story short, yeah, there was a lot of power.
Yeah.
When she introduced herself as an attorney. I said, oh, really, you're a lawyer? So she was like young, like in her 20s, like young. So I was fascinated. I asked her what school did she go to, and she introduced me and told me that, sometimes she introduced me to the members of the team at the law school. Just so happens that same year, they were threatening to abolish parole. And I was a parole agent.
Wow.
The state was. So I said to myself, you know what? I got to get me a career where I can't get fired. It doesn't matter what the government does.
Right.
Be my own boss.
Yeah.
And that's when I started thinking about law school.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, and then when I thought about her, I contacted her and said, hey, I think I want to go to law school. So she says, yeah, I'll introduce you to the admissions team. And so fast forward, we went to St. Paul, Minnesota, and at William Mitchell College of Law, and she introduced me to the admissions team down there. And long story short, I got in. And I started, I graduated, and that's another story behind that. I graduated in 2.5 years, which is record breaking for.
Wow, yes.
I went year round, say, because I know it was a change of career for me.
Right.
I didn't even go to law school until I was 35.
Wow.
So I went in there, but the average age when I went, it was 44 in law school because people would change careers just like I would. And anyway, I finished in 2.5 years. And I graduated, and then I started working at the public defender's office as an attorney. Worked there 2 years to get my feet wet, get some trial experience and get used to going in the court. And I wanted to make my mistakes on the government instead of somebody paying me.
Right.
So I worked there about 2 years. Then I went out on my own, and that was like '95, and I've been practicing ever since. I've been doing criminal defense work, as well as I do civil, so I got experience in doing trial work.
You got a whole lot of stuff that you do, that you represent.
Yeah, so how that matched up, I left to go to law school. I had my group was going on. I left to go to law school in like 1990, but I had already started my group. So I went to St. Paul, finished law school, and came back and just restarted the group.
Wow, that's a lot. But also, you also was running for judge as well. So tell us about that journey.
Well, I wanted to take my skills and experience, my education to another level. And so I decided to run for judge. I went for an appointment as judge, and that's another conversation on how they do that system. It's so political. People would want me to be judge and they would support me, but it's like if I didn't have the right people to support me or speak for me, then you wouldn't get it. So, but anyway, I ran for judge. Unfortunately, I lost. I ran in 2006, and I lost in 2006. So I prayed about this thing. See, I said, okay, wait a minute, God, this is something I wanted to do. He said, no good things will I withhold from you if you disobey in my word. I said, well, I've been trying to live right and do right. Is this for me? Because I feel that I can do some good as a judge. So I ran again in 2020. I got about 140,000 votes, but I still lost.
Wow.
Yeah, so, but it was because I didn't have enough soldiers to go out there. So because he was slated and he paid that money, he had people all
over in different counties.
So bottom line is I lost, but I still know even with that, God could have, if he wanted me to. And that's the way I look at it.
In due time, then. Everything got in due time.
And I said it just.
Your spirit is so humble and it's so rich. And, you know, we need people like you, especially when it comes to the melanin people. We need people like you to be out there in the forefront because there's so many different things going on in our community, especially with our youth. And, you know, and what I represent on my platform is rebuilding the Black community because we have to get back to that place.
That's excellent. I want you to know that I've been doing a free outdoor festival for the last 26 years. And it's I have a wonderful turnout every year, and I have a big stage, and I have a lot of different artists. It's a wonderful platform. We have a great crowd every year for the last 26 years. Of course, we had this, during the pandemic, everything stopped then.
Yeah, everything.
But and it was free. You didn't have to pay anything. We had food. I mean, good food like chicken, hot dogs, Polish,
hot links. I'm just throwing it up in there.
Yeah,
right.
And it was free.
Right,
all you have to do is come on the grounds,
right,
get a little food ticket, and you can eat. And guess what? It was all you can eat.
Wow.
You didn't have to just do one something. I've been doing that for 26 years, and it's coming up again. On August 26th on a Saturday, August 26th from 10 to 7. You're free to come. We're going to have a great...
where's it going to be located?
8747 South Paulina in the parking lot of my church.
Wow, so wait a minute. Let's rewind. Let's go back. So you're a pastor too?
No, I'm not. Okay. Everybody think I am.
Okay.
No, I didn't throw that out there.
Okay.
But everybody think I am because my name is Sutton, and the pastor's name is Sutton. He's my first cousin, Bernard Sutton, and his dad was the founder of the church. His name was S.L. Sutton, so the name Sutton has been attached to the Acton Baptist Church.
Sutton is really powerful.
Yeah, but I'm a deacon at my church, you know, and I'm chairman over the trustees. You know, I oversee the money and the spending.
Okay.
But no, I'm not a pastor.
Okay.
But everybody think I am.
Yeah, you do got that kind of that pastor, you know.
Persona
about you know.
You know what? It's true. Say that I walked in court one day. It's a true story, and the judge says, he looked at me. He says, he looked over his guy. Are you a pastor?
No, I'm a lawyer.
True story.
Wow.
Yeah. No, I said no, Your Honor. He said, well, you look like one. That's what he said to me.
Wow.
This man didn't know me from. He was a white judge. He didn't know me from Adam.
He just saw that anointing on your life.
You know what I say about it? I'm not mad that the light.
Yeah.
My light shines.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. Now, so now I know you got the free giveaway. So y'all give away free food.
School.
I gotta give away food, right?
And yeah, we give away school supplies.
Right. Okay.
You know, book bags.
That's a good thing.
Writing utensils for the students that are going back to school. Yeah, and we do it.
Now you know all that's great, and I see so many of different people putting their money together and coming together as a community. They're doing great things for the community. But one thing we really need is, and I wonder how did you feel about this, about you being a lawyer, is we need leaders to come out and help clean up the streets for Chicago because so much crime is going on. We got our babies going to jail left and right. You know, the killing, the theft, everything is going on in our society. Like, how did that make you feel? Because that wasn't going on in your era. You know, how did that make you feel as a lawyer?
As a lawyer, what I try to do, even in my lawyering, I don't leave God out. You know, because I believe and I feel strongly that God blessed me to become a lawyer, for me to make it out of the projects and do what I'm doing and become a lawyer. So my counseling, it's God is in it. So when I talk to the young brothers on the street, I always introduce them or have God as my base. I truly believe a lot of our leaders that if they would include God in what they're trying to do,
Yes.
I believe that it will make a difference.
Yes,
but we try to go all around God and try to resolve all these things without including Him. If my people who are called by my name would honor themselves, humble themselves, and pray, then will I hear from heaven and heal the land. You must consider, put God in the plan. You're talking about cleaning up the streets, talking about the killing and all that. I believe that these are children raising children. What do I mean by that? These are kids who maybe growing up in broken homes, but just a mother or just a father. Now, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that, because mothers do the best that they can, best they can. Fathers do the best they can when they're raising the children, but a lot of times it means something to have an intact family growing up. But unfortunately, it just doesn't happen. So now that introduction to God at a young age sometimes is missed.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Sometimes it's missed.
Yeah.
And that means now the kids are being introduced to the streets and how to survive on the street. And they're their role models may be drug dealers, because they got wads of money and they're flashing it, and just to care for another human being, because you got so many kids who are even killing other kids. I believe that all the answer to it is God.
Yeah.
You can come up with any plan that you want, but if you leave God out, in my humble opinion, it's not the best plan. I'm going to say it may be a plan, but I'm just saying it's not the best plan.
Yeah. Because I know when I was coming up in the 80s, they had started taking, God out the church. I mean, out the schools.
School,
And, then it came to a place where the parents couldn't really discipline the kids no more. And so now the kids began flipping out with the parents. So now the parent got fear because, if you hit me, I'm calling the police on you. So now the parents like, wait a minute, I don't want to go to jail, So they started, backing off. And now the discipline, not saying that you're supposed to beat your child, but that's not right. But it came to the place of the parent standing up, because when I was growing up, my mama just looked at you like this, and you get yourself together. You just didn't do certain things. That's the era I come from.
Right.
Nowadays you look at your kids, they look like, what you looking at? So it's like the respect has left.
Some of them may even say that too.
Yeah, they will say that to you. I don't care if you is my mama. You ain't gonna touch me. But that's the era that we're in, and it's so sad to me because I think it goes back from that, taking God out the church. I remember when my son was like 8 years old, 8 or 9. He'd be like, Mom, can I take the Bible to school with me? So I let him take his Bible to school. The school called me and was like, your son cannot have a Bible in this school. We do not allow that. And I told them, I think that's crazy, but y'all allow the history books, which is full of lies.
Yeah.
You have certain things in the school, but when it comes to the Bible, it was a no-no. Yeah. And like you said, when you don't put God first, that's when things fail.
See, I was administrative judge for DCFS. So I was presiding over cases when people would get reports or indicted for, things like leaving their children at home or beating their children or doing something. When DCFS would get involved, there's no crime against corporal punishment. A lot of people confuse that. Yeah. Like when you spank your child. Yeah. The crime is against excessive corporal punishment.
When it comes to abusing and all
that. You can still spank your child. Right. See, people they confusing that. You can still spank them, but not to the point where you scarring them up. They got swole faces and all. That's abuse. Yeah. But because the Bible that I read says, spare the rod, spoil the child. Matter of fact, in another verse said, beat them. And they won't die.
Right. That's true. It's in the book, right?
So that means, yes, because Did I get whipped when I was coming up? Absolutely.
I got the beat down,
And look at us.
Right.
You know, we turned out all right.
Turned out
You
all
know,
right.
and
I thank God for the whoopings. I
respect.
understand then, but now I truly appreciate the whoopings.
Yes, because I, you know, even though I tell you all these wonderful stories, I was a terror when I was coming up. I mean, I used to do, but I always, so that means that, you know, I mumbled. See, it was just a mumble. Before I knew it, my mama had back in. I mean,
the floor somewhere, you was down the street somewhere.
I mean, the fact that when she did it, I was so shocked. I mean, it really didn't even hurt that bad, but the fact that she got my attention.
Right.
In other words, I'm talking to you. You don't talk back to me. I was like, oh, from that day, I ain't never mumbled. My mother said something to me, I ain't say nothing.
I know you didn't.
So that little things like that.
Yeah.
And just when you bringing up young men in the home, like I said about
especially a single mother,
single mothers, you know, like I said, they do the best that they can as mothers and as women, but they've never been a man.
Yeah.
So there's little things that needs to be instilled into young men, you know, that sometimes is missed. Mothers can do what mothers do, nurture them and all. But there's something about a man being in the house. There's something about
that man being in the house.
Yeah.
That voice. The kids need to hear that voice.
Because you know, and of course kids will play against one another. Something about a man.
Yeah.
That
stand up man.
Yeah. That make and all the men out there, you need to know that your sons are watching you and mimicking you.
Yes. Yes.
So you got to be careful what you're showing them. You don't beat your wife.
Yeah.
You know, and all that, because they're looking at that.
Yeah.
You know.
Calling out a name and all that.
Yeah, all that. Calling out these names, cussing them out, calling the B word and all that. No.
Yeah.
You don't do that. And you would teach your kids not to do that.
Yeah.
So little stuff like that.
Yeah, it really do matter.
It's missed sometimes.
Yeah. That's true. Now, now I know that, you know, you have a long journey of a lot of great things that you have done and that you have accomplished. And by me sitting here interviewing you today, like, I'm so amazed at some of the great things, a lot of the great things that you have done over the years. Because, you know, I just love to see our community, our men, our women step up and just be great in everything that they do. So right now, I'm so honored just to be here with you on today and just to take all this in, you know, and make me a better person and make me a better mom and, you know, just want to do and be great in everything I do. So now let's get down to the part of your wife. Now I know your wife she this big choir director and she can direct that choir. I'm telling you, I don't know, I never met her personally, but I know, did my research, your wife is bad to the bone. She won the championship, right, at the BET Awards. It was a competition that they had going on back in 2006, right?
8.
Okay, see, I was almost there. 2008, and she did a competition with BET. Now, tell us how that went, because there's a lot of great directors, and she was being in a competition with different people from the country.
Yeah.
So
it was called the Verizon Wireless.
Right, the Verizon Wireless.
How Sweet the Sound.
Yes.
Best choir competition.
Yes.
Which at the time, we were in a little bitty church on the corner of 88th and Vincennes, Acme Church. But we always had a bad choir. Janet was my wife. She was the director over the choir. And one of the choir members said to her, you know, they're having this choir competition. You know, we should get in it. And she blew off. No, we're not getting into the competition. She blew off the first couple of times.
Right.
She kept at her. And we need to get this. She said, okay, fine, put our name in. That's the way she did it. So we ended up getting in the competition. And we got in there in 2008. And Janet, my wife, took a hymn, Just So Sweet to Trust in Jesus. And she redid that thing, rearranged it, yeah,
Okay.
and made it her own. And that's what won us the $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's how we ended up getting the church that we're in now.
Wow.
We won that $50,000.
Yes.
Now, we had people like Donald Lawrence, what's the
Which
name?
I love Donald Lawrence.
Yeah, Donald Lawrence. What's his other name? Marvin Sapp,
Yes.
saying that Janet, my wife, was the best directress, female directress in the country.
Wow.
Now, say they
wow,
called
wow.
us. We didn't do this ourselves.
Right.
They had it all in the newspaper, channel 257, 32, and all that. That we were the best choir in the nation. That's what that's what the newspaper said.
Wow.
And it had Janet directing. Matter of fact, if you people out there, you can go on now and go back to How Sweet the Sound. We were the first ones to win it over the whole country. And we had in front of, when we had the final competition was in front of at the arena in Atlanta. It had to be like 18,000 people in there. We won it was like an NBA final or something. We won that competition there, and from there, man, we interviewed with WGN, CBS, was on television shows, and cameras would come to the house and be filming us coming out of the house. I mean, it was just, when we go to the airport, cameras would be sitting
Wow. I was like, wow, okay.
It was really an experience. But Janet, she's been on radio for 40 years. She started out at WICA 92.3 when there was 50,000 watts. People like Angela Martin, like Pastor John Hanna, and all them came up behind her. She won't let them, read an announcement or something on the radio show. So all the way up until now, she's on radio 1570 every Saturday from 12
I like 1570. Okay.
Yeah. So, but she has been a great inspiration. They call her the choir master. People like Ricky Dillard.
Yeah.
If you ever get a chance to talk to Ricky Dillard, ask him, do you know Janet Sutton?
Wow.
Well,
look that up.
Oh, yeah, we know that. And that's not the problem. They call it, she used to be Janet Harris. Okay. But she married me.
She married you.
She's a Sutton. Dropped the Harris. Pulled the Sutton
Oh, that's
off.
right.
Janet Sutton.
Well, so it's not Janice Harris, it's Janice.
Right, that's what I said. But I'm not offended because people, she gained her name and her popularity under Janet Harris. That don't bother me, So next time you see Ricky or Hezekiah Walker, ask any of them.
Well, look that up because I would love to meet Hezekiah Walker. I just interviewed John P. Keith last Saturday, which was phenomenal. I was like, because John P. Keith is like one of my favorite gospel artists, like my number one gospel artist. I love him. And when I interviewed him, I was like, John P. Keith, And then, I was on this tour bus and we had the interview. It was phenomenal. It wasn't a long interview, but I know because he had did maybe 30-something songs or maybe 20-something songs that day. So I was just honored just to interview him. And he was like, I'm coming back to Chicago and, I want y'all to be a part of my media team. I'm like, that's good, look at God. So, I love Donald Lawrence. I love, who else? Ricky Dillon. There's a lot of great people. That Hezekiah Walker, I love him as well.
Gabriel Union threw a shoe at one time. Janet was directing. True story. She was one of the.
Okay. I was about to say when she threw it at, like, girl, go. Do that. Okay.
Janet was directing. at the finals, she took her shoe off and threw it at her, saying, "Girl,
right."
I mean, it was wonderful.
Wow.
At Fred Hammond.
Wow. I love Fred Hammond. Yeah. Fred Hammond comes under John P. Keith. Like John P. Keith first, then Fred Hammond. Yeah.
All of them know Janet right now. Matter of fact, we just did the Chicago Gospel Festival.
This past Saturday.
Yeah. It was packed.
Yeah.
And Janet did that song, "'Tis So Sweet." Just wiped them out.
Wiped them out.
It's all you can look at it. It's all you do is matter of fact, I got it on my phone. She's a phenomenal director. Matter of fact, this Sunday, she's going to be, people always call her to come teach their choirs.
Wow.
Fellowship just called her. She's going to be at Fellowship this Sunday. maybe 2 or 3 services where she's going to be directing that choir. They booked Janet and to different states just to MC.
Wow, that's a blessing.
I mean, Kansas, Milwaukee, California. I mean, to MC.
Wow.
One time.
There's something about that anointing. Like you said, when you put God first and humble yourself, so many doors will open for you.
And that's the way I would always give counsel and advice to young people. Don't leave God out. I do criminal work. And a lot of times I'll say to my clients, do you know God? I ask them a question. Oh, yeah, you know God. I said, do you pray? And I said, well, you pray, talk to God yourself, and ask God for what you want. He'll answer. I'm not saying that every time I say that, miracles happen, but sometimes it does.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to do is let them see that I rely on God, even for my counsel, for my representation. Before I go into a trial, I pray.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
I can't do it.
You don't see too many lawyers doing stuff like that. They go with such an ego, and it just be so ugly. But it's like, just by talking with you, I just feel like the Spirit of God on you, and I really do. And I have a great discernment, and I just really do feel the Spirit of God on you.
And that's a compliment, and I'm glad that you feel that, because it shows my light. Yeah. Because may the work I've done speak for me. Yeah. I don't have to say it myself. I can just the work I've done and how people see me and how I carry myself. I walk into churches, I walk into places, true story, people were trying to take me to the pulpit because they think I'm a pastor. But I tell them, I'm a deacon. Some of the pastors, a lot of the pastors, I would say 80% of the pastors in Chicago know me. They know me, and a lot of times when I come to their churches, they won't let me sit in the back. They always bring me up front, or with Janet. Just about every choir knows Janet. Right. You ever get a chance?
I wish she would have came up here. That would have been so awesome.
She is another wonderful, wonderful person. God bless me to marry her.
Yeah, that's a blessing.
My 2 boys by Janet Harris Sutton. She is a phenomenal woman. She has speaking engagements, and she's doing a lot of stuff too. Wow. She MCs, she has speaking engagements, she teaches choirs and all that. She has workshops where she's teaching choirs on.
Oh wow.
So she's busy.
That's a blessing. I sure wish she would have came. It would have been an honor just to meet her.
And let me say this.
Go ahead.
Out of all that I just mentioned, she still takes care of me.
Wow.
As a husband.
Wow.
Wow. I clap for you.
Normally when people that big in the game, they're like, oh, I could better get a personal chef, but she's still doing her duty as a wife.
As a wife, because it's where it started. When we first got married, I told her, I said, I'm from Mississippi. By the way, I don't think you knew that.
No, I didn't. I didn't know.
I was actually born in Yazoo, Mississippi.
Country boy.
Country boy. I told her, I said, I'm a country boy. I believe, and this is what I believe, and I teach my sons, is that if I'm going to say I'm the head of this house, of my house, then I got to act like I pay the bills. I pay the bills, and when Janet does, I'm not saying this works for everybody, but this is the way I do in my home, and I think it has resulted in me having peace, and this, which is so important in a home. I pay the bills, and as a result,
you pay all the bills.
I pay. Well, let me say this: the main bills, the mortgage, the rent. The electric, gas, phone, cable.
That's all the bills.
All of them.
That's a blessing.
Now, Janet will buy groceries and stuff like that from the money that you but all of the other bills. Oh, there's a car note. And when I did have a car note, I paid the car note.
Wow, that's a blessing. Because the era we're living in right now, men, they're not trying to do all that. They be like, oh no, we're going to split this in half. I pay my part, you pay your part. But that's good.
The way I see it.
Ooh, that's a blessing.
And I counsel on this as
Yes.
an attorney. You do it the way God said do it.
Your house will be blessed.
Yes. There it
Your
is.
house
right
will be blessed.
Right there.
Man, that
You do it the way God said do it.
Woo! Make me want to cry.
And
That's
God says He made man the head. And what I feel like about Janet, she respects that. She don't ever try to exhort herself like she's over me, whatever.
Yeah.
If we get ready to do something at the same time, though, I respect her. Any kind of major something that goes on in the house, whether it's buying something major, whatever. Hey, babe, what you think?
Yeah.
I always consult with her. Yeah. And a lot of times we may disagree on things. Sometimes, if, I go with the way she wanted. Okay, that's what you want. Okay, we'll do that. Because she's there to help me. She's there to help me.
Yes.
And as a result, I'm not going to misuse her or not listen to her. Yeah. Because she's a great woman of God. She has great counsel and discernment too. Sometimes I'll say to her, we talk Bible, hey, what does this mean? Or we'll talk about it, or we'll pick the Bible up sometime, and we will research particular things that perhaps we don't understand, and we'll look at it together.
Yeah.
That from a spiritual aspect.
And you know what? By you teaching this thing, because, and I really want you guys to really listen to what he's saying, because a lot of this right here is what a lot of households is missing. They're missing the fact that you ain't got to argue about everything, because that's like one of the most deepest things when people split up and divorce is because of money. But you stepped up and said, no, I'm going to take care of everything. You can buy the groceries, little miscellaneous things, which is a good thing, because it takes a lot of baggages off of one, because a woman, we can carry a lot of baggages.
Yeah.
A lot. And I think that's phenomenal for you to get up and say that. Like, you teaching the men out here, like, we need that in our community. We really do, because it takes a village to raise all of us.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's important, though, that the woman agrees and has that understanding. Yeah. And I believe she will get that understanding from the Word of God. Yeah. And she'll know that if you believe in God, God says the man is the head. Yeah. And therefore, if the man is the head, then you have to do what you have to do. You follow what the man is laid out. Here's another thing I teach. Yeah, this is another thing I teach. I teach married couples, or I counsel married couples, do not make major purchases based on two incomes. Now, I say that, you got to take a look at one of them. A lot of times, two people get together and they want to buy a house. I'm just going to use a number. It's $500,000, okay? You can't afford it yourself, but, with both your incomes, you can get it. I'm not saying that doesn't ever work, okay? But the better plan, in my opinion, is to get things based on your income, the man. Right. The man's income, because guess what? A woman, especially if they're in childbearing age, they can get pregnant, start having children, can't work anymore. Guess what? Now you done bought it based on two income to pay that note. Now that extra income is not there. What happens? You end up your house being in foreclosure.
That's a problem.
That's a problem.
Yeah.
So when I say that, it's not to say that you can't ever do things based on two incomes. No, I'm not saying that. We just got to be careful in doing it because, especially in the childbearing years.
I agree.
Because if you're planning to have children, that can knock that income out. And then there you are, when the income was, let's say, $3,000 a month. Now that other $1,500 is gone.
Dropped down,
How you gonna put? And that brings on stress in the family, because now the man is, I gotta pay this for myself now. Now he's
your attitude's popping off, So
So you gotta consider all these kinds of things. Not to say that that's an ironclad rule that everybody has to follow, but that's the way I did it. And I've been married now for 28 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a blessing. You don't hear that in the black community. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's a blessing. Well, I know you did some great things, and I almost definitely want to attend your event that y'all gonna have. You said it's August 25th.
20. It's on a Saturday.
Okay, I was off the day. Okay. August 26th. I almost definitely want to come. So you said it starts at what time again?
10 in the morning, and we go all the way to 7 in the evening.
Okay. So now, if people want to get in contact with you, let's say somebody may be going through, maybe their son or their daughter got into some trouble, how would they get in contact with you? 2
ways you can contact me. You can, my phone number is 708-747-3233. Somebody said, no way you can get finished.
All right. Wait, hold that thought. Wait a minute.
So my office number is 708-747-3233. My email address is supersutton@sbcglobal.net. A lot of people confused about it, think I'm saying super, S-U-P-E-R. No, it's S-U-P-A, super Sutton at sbcglobal.net. You can reach me those 2 ways. And I do pro bono for seniors, for estate planning, writing wills and things like that. Yeah, I do that to help people out. And a lot of times I have a free legal advice hour on Saturdays where people can come in and ask me legal questions. I do that on Saturdays.
I most definitely need to be getting in contact with you.
Well, you can use that same number. Well, you got me now.
Yeah.
You can use that same number and call me. I take time to hear people. Sometimes I give them, if they call me on the phone, I give them some time. As long as it's not real long,
Right.
I'll listen to them and give them some advice.
Wow, so we need that, y'all. We need people like this in our community. So let's most definitely uplift him. Let's bring some inlight. So whatever he got going on, let's support him. Let's support wherever his church got going on. So tell us about your church. When is the church? Because I'm just going to be honest with you. We need God in our life. People think they don't tell you. People is crying out for God. And if you see the Shekinah glory, the anointing that's on his life, y'all need to be at their church. So give people your church information, your pastor, the address, all that great stuff.
My church is the Acme Baptist Church. Some people would throw it in Missionary Baptist, but Acme Baptist Church. It's located at 8747 South Paulina. Paulina is 2 blocks west of Ashland. Matter of fact, if you go down Ashland, you cross Ashland at 87th Street and look to the left, you'll see it. It's the Acme Baptist Church. The phone number there at the church is 773-283-3860. I'm sorry, 238-3860 at the church. Okay, and the web for Acme, you can look it up. It's Acme's highest peak at gmail.com. Now, I want to share with you, if you would do me a favor, this new single is on all of the social media outlets. So I wish all of you all will go on. It's only 99 cents and buy it. That will show up, and at least I'm making a few sales when they count it up. So you all go on Apple Music, iTunes, Amazon, Spotify, YouTube, and purchase that CD. God always keep his promise, and he always keep his word. That's what I'm saying to you. He's not short. If he said it, he's going to do it.
He's going to do it.
If he promised you he's going to do something, he always keep his word.
He said he's not a man that he should.
That's right.
So tell people how they can get in contact with you as far as with your social media as well.
Okay, I'm on social media. Of course, I'm on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. So, I forget a lot of those. Instagram, Sutton at 57, I think. I forget all of it. But I am on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
So what's your Facebook?
Arthur Sutton.
Arthur Sutton, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Arthur Sutton. So y'all have to go to Arthur. If y'all want to get in contact with him, please contact him through his, they can inbox you if they want to get legal advice, or you can also call him as well.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget, y'all, to go to all his platforms and purchase. Please purchase his music. It's only 99 cents.
That's
You
right.
can't beat that.
That's right.
You know, we go to the grocery store and spend, what, $200 on three items now?
Yeah, you're right.
So, you know, so please go out and support his music, his new single that is dropping, y'all. I heard it. I just heard the trailer. But you did see the whole song. Yeah. And it's phenomenal. So go and check him out, and let's help build our communities back again, because that's what it's all about. Rebuilding the Black community, or the melanin community. Let's rebuild our communities so we can be great again. And he's a great example of what great should be. His wife is a good example of what great should be. So let's support them. Also, you can go to well, she's on AM, right?
1570 AM, and plus it's www.gospel1570.com.
Okay.
You get on the internet.
Yes.
Yeah. Let me say this. I want to say a brother that really helped me out and got me. I produced the choir. We can talk about that. I guess that'll be Janet's interview. Yeah, we got the choir got nominated after we won that competition. We recorded a CD, an album, and it got nominated for Stella. And one of the brothers that helped us to get on Billboard charts was Tom Harris.
Tom Harris.
Kudos to my brother Tom Harris.
Yes, he's a phenomenal man.
He's a genius when it comes to that promotional stuff.
Matter of fact,
he did the cover on my CD.
Wow.
Tom did. Tom Harris. Thank you, Tom.
Yes, thank you. Also, his son have a new single that's dropping this week as well. Yes, go out and support Tom. So he's on Facebook as Thomas.
Yeah, you're right. His name is Thomas
Harris. Because when I talk to him, I'm like, yeah, Thomas gave me your number. He's like, Thomas. He's like, I said his last name Harris. He's like, I know Tom Harris. I'm like, okay, everybody calls him Tom, but yeah.
Yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah.
You know,
so go out and support him, y'all. Let's do great for our community. And if you don't mind, could you just drop a little beat for us? You know, drop a little song for us if you don't mind. Drop a little verse for us. You know, but you know what really touched me? Because I really love this song that's called I Got Angels Watching Over Me.
Oh, yeah.
But it's by Trinity. I think is it Trinity 5-7? I forgot the group name. I don't know if it's Trinity 5-7. No, it's Virtue.
Maybe.
It's Virtue. They have a song called I Got.
No, I can't see. I got an angel watching over me. Yes.
Yes.
God gave me an angel.
Yes.
To watch over me.
Yes.
God gave me an angel to watch over me. And my angel is there to protect me. I got an angel watching over me. There it is.
Yes, thank you. Wow.
And a new song.
Wow.
God, he always keep his promise.
Yes.
And he always keep his word. And God, he always keep his promise. And he always keep his word. So I never let go of his hand. I never let go of his hand.
All right.
It's like sink in sand. If God ever let go of his hand.
All right. Yay. There y'all have it. So don't forget, y'all, so let's support them. Let's show a lot of love. So I appreciate you coming on the show. I really do. So I ask you guys to go to my website at www.wswtinternetradio.com and subscribe to the station. Also, if you have a Roku TV, please go and download Stand TV. Let's be going down there, y'all. It's going to be going down over there. We got a lot of great things going on, so I truly appreciate you coming out. Tell your wife I said hi. I love to interview her. And if you have anybody that's looking to maybe be hopping in or come through Chicago one day, just send them my way and I can interview them. Like, I love Hezekiah Walker.
Okay.
I love all these great, wonderful people. And so whenever you want, got anything going on, let me know. I also will be getting in contact with you about some advice because I have a nephew that's going through some things as well too when it comes to the system. So I appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
It's really been a good time. I enjoyed being here with you.
Yes. Go out and support him, support him, support him. So this is your girl, Sadie Star from WSWT Internet Radio. And thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same place. And it's all about rebuilding our community. So we up out of here, y'all. Peace out.
Peace.
Peace out. Yes, yes. Thank you.
All right.